Well, a very good morning and welcome to beautiful Port Macquarie on the mid-north coast. James Preston and Carly Banks to get this thing started here for the 2022 State Cup for New South Wales Touch Football. And Carly, should be an absolute cracking couple of days here up on beautiful Port Macquarie.
Yeah, it's been a long time between drinks for us, James. Unfortunately, our last tournament got canned, so everybody's been looking forward to this State Cup for a long time. So it should be some fantastic touch played over the next 3 days.
And of course, before that, we had two COVID-impacted campaigns as well. So hoping to get a fair few fans out and about as well today. If you are watching from your lounge room at the moment, make the trek yourself. It's all pretty close here in lovely Port. So hoping that we can see you out here and also hoping that the rain stays off. A lot of clouds floating around today.
Yeah, definitely. There's supposed to be a bit of rain over the next few days, James. So we'll see how that impacts the tournament as we progress.
We'll bank for an interesting little start to this one as well. A little bit heavier underfoot, of course, slippery with the ball in hand. So it'll be a bit of a test here for our first two sides to kick off this tournament. We'll be in the Women's Open Division. East Roosters taking on Hills Hornets, which is actually where I'm from, Carly Banks, growing up in Glenhaven and Castle Hill.
Oh, very good. So, bit of a hometown favourite there for you, there, James. But this should be a cracking contest. East Roosters have traditionally been one of the heavyweights of women's touch, and they've got a really strong squad together that will be interesting to see how they go. And Hills Hornets have been the big improvers in the women's game over the last few seasons. So, really looking forward to this one, James.
And of course, a couple of names there that you'd be very familiar with at higher levels for the likes of the Hills Hornets, Ava Jones and Mackenzie Davis. Those two have certainly been doing the rounds at New South Wales level, and I believe a few of them might even be on the cusp of international selection too. Yeah,
some great young youth players, in this Hills Hornets combination, and they'll definitely, show the improvement that they've done. They've got a really, really good coaching staff down there in the box, so I expect them to certainly to perform very well in this game. Mel Mitchell, one of the emerging women's coaches in our game, she's doing a great job, and ably assisted by Dave Nolan, who's the Australian Open mixed coach. So they've got a really, really strong coaching lineup.
So we'll be the Hills Hornets who have first use of the ball here in the maroon and yellow strip, taking on the East Roosters in that predominant white jersey. 30-minute matches here, and it is a turnaround after each try scored, no halves in it, as the Hornets go on the attack here, and nice quick feet here as well from Ava Jones, drops it off. Now they head back towards the middle. Strong touch coming in there from Satcher. Once more provided here for Ellis. Ellis wrapping around, still an option here out on that left-hand side. Jones finds Ellis, looking to pop it back on the inside. She's caught. Last play now here for the Hornets. Jones to Ellis. Nowhere to go. Good up and in defence, and that's nice stuff from the Roosters to begin with.
Yeah, they handled that sweeper quarterback play that the Hills threw at them that first set of six, so that had pleased the East coaching box. No end to be able to do that. So let's see how they go getting out of their own end. Going fairly direct, which is a nice start from the Roosters. Yeah,
good meters on offer here, but working it away from the subs box as opposed to directly there. And they'll get another set to play with here because the Hornets weren't back on side. So early in this one, just a minute gone as Roosters tap it off just inside of enemy territory. They'll link up further out wide here with the likes of Squadrito. Squadrito now waiting in at acting half. Fires it off. A little bit behind the run there of Kewen. Now they straighten things up here through Demaria. Demaria drops it off about 12 away from the try line. Now they've got them backpedaling here, the Hornets. Good cover, though, from Ava Jones.
Yeah, nice little out ball there from the Roosters, showing some really good structure early on. Let's see what they do with this repeat, James. Very interesting to see what sequence they throw at the Hills Hornets defence.
Well, they've got a full set to play with, so they can ask plenty of questions. They played here on the 7-metre mark. Kewen goes for a long dive. Good touch coming across there, though, from Ellis. So back to that 7-metre mark they come. Still early in the set, though. Squadrito. Now to Kewen. Drops it off here for Demaria, slowing things down. Demaria back to Kewen. Looks for the strike dump. Squadrito comes to the line. Oh, she had an opportunity to keep going there. I don't think Jones had got back to the line in time initially.
Yeah, they were looking for a little ML play there, and basically they just needed to back themselves, James. I'm 100% with you. Just back their first thought. Little sweeper play, they're in trouble.
Yeah, last play now, well called, Carly Banks. They've worked it beautifully there. Quarry linking up with Hallowell Quinn, and the Roosters go in first here. 1-0 after just over 2 minutes here at Port Macquarie.
Yeah, really nice first set of 6 there from the Roosters on the line. They ran a quickie play, an ML platform, then they went to a sweeper play late in the count. And, that's just a precision set of 6. So I think the East coaching box would be really, really happy with that start. Not only for the fact that they scored the first try, but because of the fact of the way that it was structured. So really, really good in terms of their game plan, working out fairly well so far.
So, of course, the two sides now changing directions here. That's how we're working in this tournament. 30-minute matches, and once a try is scored, we do change the emphasis. Unfortunately, though, for the Hornets, they can't capitalise. So, another set here for the Roosters. Yet to really ask any questions so far in their opening couple of sets here, the Hornets. But they'll be looking to build as this match progresses. Towards that subs box, they go once more, Roosters. Off the right foot, picking up good meters as well. Reinforcements arrive, quick hands. Well, I thought that might have been a touch pass. Play on is the call, though. Last now and jamming out of the line. It's a good defensive play from the Hornets.
Yeah, fantastic work there. Their midfield defence will be really good, and that's the way to get back on track. They've gone through the middle on this first one, and they're bringing the ball to the box. Let's see if they can settle their nerves here and just get a really good set completion. If they can't score, James, they'll be wanting a completion.
Well, great meters here with a right foot step, and then linking up with a long ball here to Williams, who drops it off. Pond in at acting half. Quick hands here. They've got them stripped for numbers, but they recover well, the Roosters. Played quickly. Still backpedaling to the line. Oh, beautiful ball over the top. It'll just fall a little short there, though, of Williams, who was coming late.
Yeah, I think she was through the line there and probably didn't need to throw that pass. But, they've got the repeat. So let's see if they can come up with an equally impressive sequence in their first attacking foray on a repeat set.
Well, here's Regan now into the action and diving at the line from distance. I think they've got there in time, though, the Roosters. Yes, referees on the spot. Good call there.
Yeah, wonderful link defence there. They did a really good job to get back out and get onside.
Played around about 10 away from the opposition line. Quick hands back on the inside. And they'll play it inside the 7-metre mark. You don't see that too often. Williams is there. She gets to ground quickly. The ball comes spilling out. And they've got the touch in time. Really good defence from East.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play from Maddie Mitchell to make that play and shut it down because they were in all sorts.
Williams once more went for it, but this sliding defence, especially from the link position for East, is really strong so far.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really desperate defence. And this is what State Cup's all about, James. You really want to get off to a good start, in your first match and try and, settle the nerves and, set a real platform, to build into the next couple of days.
So towards that sideline they come to get the fresh players on. Oh, big contact there as well. All incidental. Referee says play on. Just shy of the halfway line now on the last. Meters on offer here for the Roosters, but pretty good defensive set overall from the Hornets. They didn't let them march upfield easily.
Yeah, Mel Mitchell will be really happy with that defensive set from the Hornets. They didn't look like they were under too much pressure at all, and meters are really hard to get in this game already. So yeah, both teams are really showing how much it means to them to get this game off to a really good start.
So here is representative player Ava Jones back into the action. She receives it now in the one. Jones holding it up. Great ball over the top for Pond. The touch came across just in time, though. It was Watchman who was watching.
Yeah, fantastic piece of wing play. Did really, really well. Didn't panic. Gave the inside defenders time to get there, and then she just slid away and got a player when she had to. So yeah, accomplished effort there from the winger.
Really good defence here, though, from the Hornets, not allowing an easy passage toward that sideline area. Finally, they get the ball across and they can get fresh players on. Oh, the pressure nearly paying dividends there for the Hornets. They'll roll the ball now, just shy of the halfway line. Big dummy comes up, last play now with a backpedaling defence. Ellis is caught in no man's land. Oh, they put on the power here with plenty of pace and nearly got away.
Yeah, fantastic work from Siren, just slicing through there and putting a fair bit of pressure, on that sort of Hills defence. That has been fairly good in the midfield thus far. So the little scoop out of acting half might be something. I see the East coaching staff over in the box. They've probably sort of recognised that they're probably a little bit better going a bit more direct and trying to break up, this really, really strong Hills midfield D.
Good run there from Williams as Lamusu comes into acting half. Flat pass there. Play on is the call. No touch pass. Last play now, though, for the Hornets. Nowhere to go, though, on that occasion. So they just sort of overran her on the outside.
Yeah, what the Hornets are trying to do, they're trying to, check the ball back on the inside and implicate multiple defenders, which is a really, really good tactic. But they have to be ready to run, off the next play. So that'll be an area that I'm sure Dave Nolan and Mel Mitchell will identify very quickly and make some changes there.
Oh, geez, that was a very lucky pass to be let go, but the Roosters will take full advantage of a good pace on display here. Lovely touch coming across late, though, from none other than Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, big defensive play from the class player that she is. She's, as we know, a tremendous young player, James. We called her at the NYC and she did had a tremendous tournament there and is definitely a player of the future.
It's a big dummy coming there and an extra few metres on offer as well. This one well and truly now getting into a grind after the early try from the Roosters. We haven't seen anything in about 7 or 8 minutes. They'll keep coming up through this central passage with Regan. Last play now. Backpedaling defensive line. Still pushing into that in-goal area. I think they might have got the touch, though. Yeah. Yes, they've done well there, the Roosters. And great little delay on making that touch there from Emily Irons.
Yeah, James, we're in an old-fashioned grind here, like end-to-end stuff. Both teams are content with completing. So, this will go on for a little bit longer and then the game will open up towards the back end of it. So we'll just wait and see. It's really important to be really patient now and stick in the fight and try and get your completions. And eventually, the other team will crack.
So Roosters with good metres so far in this set. They delay the pass and pick up another 15 or 20, easy as you like. Last play now, Hornets in a little bit of trouble. They've recovered well once more. And that time, making the touch, it was Annabelle Regan, who's looked good since she's come on so far. Yeah,
she's a class young player as well, Annabelle Regan. Interesting, both sides, James, they're taking off from half on that sort of last touch. And both teams tend to be defending a little bit man on. So I think a little late switch, off the back of one of these acting half scoops could find either team in a bit of trouble.
Ellis out of
She's
acting
offside.
half.
Yeah.
That's play on from the referee. Big dummy comes here once more, but they can't go anywhere, but no advantage.
Yep, I'm loving that decision from the referee. The play was obviously offside. Tried to play the advantage. It was no more than the 7 metres that it needed to be. So he brought it back and gave him a repeat set. Great referee.
So Ellis with the black and yellow boots, which I think that's the first time I've seen 2 distinctly different boots being worn at a tournament like this. Back on the inside to Jones. It might work for her. Great little ball there. They've just got the touch in time. Every now and then when you see the referee start tracking back into the in-goal, you think, well, is he going to award this? But not the case.
They're going back to that Cindy play, that short side sweeper. This time they've gone open with it.
Oh,
and
here
come
comes
back,
Jones
they've got him in
now.
trouble.
Jones, ball over the top looking for Pond. It was just a little bit too big, though.
Yeah, but it's the right play. So they'll be encouraged by that platform, James. I think this is going to be a really tight contest, and I think, repeat sets on the line. Both teams have shown that they can sequence. So I think, we're going to have a pretty entertaining game for the rest of it, James. It's going to be very tight.
Yeah, already looking quite entertaining so far as Hallowell Quinn took the previous run there, and now up towards halfway they come, the Roosters. Nice touch made. And they're just pointing straight ahead. They want to try and isolate Jones here. They've done a good job of that. Last play now for the Roosters. Ball in one hand here from Squadrito, looking to link up, but well jammed in there. I think that was Madison Harborn who's made the touch, had it link.
Yeah, definitely. They just really have to connect their strike dumps, with their attacking players a little bit more. They're a little bit far away when they're picking up and getting out of half. And like I said to you, that little late switch could cause a lot of issues for both teams, off the back of a scoop.
So Lamusu now striving forward with ball in hand. As the reinforcements arrive, Davis is out there. She's one to watch. Got oodles of pace once she gets going.
Oh.
Caught on the 7 metre mark there. Carly, you're not particularly too happy about that one. Lamusu drops it off there for Davis, and it was an interesting one there. Could have gone either way, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like both teams are trying to drop out of the touch if they can possibly do so. So I think the referees need to be a little bit mindful, of that situation.
And an incorrect roll ball there from Irons, and that has forced a turnover here in good field position now for the Hornets. Probably the best they've had to start a set so far this match. So the touch comes up and Lamusu hops into acting half. Davis will slow things down about 10 away from the line. Here she is once more, Mackenzie Davis scooting, darting for the line, but the touch comes in just in time midway through the count.
Yeah, beautiful little reverse quickie line. She's spotted that the lead and save and middle were tight together, broke on the outside, and they had to work really, really hard to stop that one. So great smarts, again, from Mackenzie.
Heavy touch there on Mackenzie Davis as now Lamusu fires it from right to left. Williams, last play now. Lamusu with Davis wrapping around. Nowhere to go, though. Lamusu succumbs to the challenge. And that'll be a changeover here on the 7 metre mark as the rain arrives at Port Macquarie.
Yeah, and we'll be interested to see how this impacts the rest of the game, James. If I'm in the coaching box, I'm probably saying to my players, get a little bit deeper, buy yourself a little bit more time to make better decisions in the rain so you can prepare for either the physical confrontation or to make a really good decision about checking off the ball.
If I'm in the coaching box, I'm asking you to come up into the commentary box and stay nice and dry. So slightly different messages from you and I as the Roosters keep marching forward now.
And they can have a nice cup of tea with you and your cup of tea and honey. You're
I am
all set up
sorted,
here.
Carly Banks. I've got honey, I've got chamomile tea, I've got a kettle. I've brought basically the entire kitchen and the sink.
Oh, he's the MacGyver. He's the MacGyver of commentary.
Only if it involves duct tape. I can't do anything else. Just over halfway now as Harborn plays it off here for Regan. Regan about 10 metres into enemy territory here as Harborn once more comes forward. Finds a little passage here for Regan. Now Harborn picking up on the last cut-out pass. All the tap on. It's just a little wider though. Unfortunately, they won't have to get too much out of that one, but they'll get another set to play with here.
This will be an interesting repeat in terms of what they've done. They've threatened every time they've been down here. They've gone to that sweeper play a fair bit. I think they'll have a quickie straight up and then, just have a bit of a look and see if they can, reposition the East defence.
Slowing things down here are the Hornets midway through this match. Good tracking defence once more. No touch called initially, and they might get, yes, they will. They'll get another set off the back of that, not onside. So Regan taps it once more. This is good time spent down in a dangerous position here for the Roosters. Harborn.
And the Roosters need to be careful here about conceding another penalty inside that zone. You don't want an exclusion at this point in time, James, with the game delicately poised.
Oh, Harborn, great footwork. I got a late touch on her, though. Might have caused a few problems. She was cutting all sorts of grass with that one. Unfortunately, she's also...
Yeah, it looks like a wrist. Hand or wrist injury. She's coming off.
Well spotted, Carly Banks. She's not moving that too freely at all. It's Tony Di Maria who's in a bit of a spot of bother there.
Yeah, let's hope she's okay. James, you never like to see injuries, especially in the very first game of the tournament. So, we'll keep an eye on her and see how she is and try and give an update.
So Harborn drops it off. Once more, great tracking defence, but now they can try and work something they need to release quickly. The tap on comes a little too late and bundled over as well. There was plenty of force in that contact there from Watchman.
Yeah, what great defence, though. She's done a fantastic job. She saved a try on this side of the field, James, and then on the other side of the field made a great shutdown, earned the late pass for her team. Fantastic defence from Watchman.
So Roosters come away now. And I've just noticed as well, I don't think she's been on yet, but on the bench here for the Hornets is Lauren McCurley. Now, not 100% sure if it was the 18s or 16s, but I remember her picking up about 5 or 6 tries in the one game at the country championship. So she's a player with oodles of pace too once she gets an opportunity as the touch is made there for the Hornets. And they'll get used to the ball now as the sun comes back out. Yeah,
the problem for East at the moment is that strike dump, that really important one late in the count, isn't being done with momentum. The Hornets are pressing up and putting a bit of pressure on, so the Roosters have to have momentum coming into it if they're going to pick up, and have a go out of acting half there.
So Jones waits for extra players to arrive. They don't get there quite in time, so they've lost all momentum here. Jones looking for some sort of opening. Ellis receives it. Switch of emphasis. Quick hands back to Jones. They tried to create something there, but ultimately it was done from the moment they rolled that ball.
Yeah, and they're trying with the switches that we were talking about, James. Both teams in their last set, their last play involved a late switch to try and exploit the man on defence, but both strike dumps, there was no momentum. So that's the difference.
Very flat pass there from the Roosters, let go by the officials, including Flynn, Lamusu and Stanmore. Just shy of the halfway line now. Roosters trying to work a little something here. It's been dominated in terms of field position for the last probably 10 minutes from the Hornets.
Yeah, it has, and the transitions are quite slow from both, and you can hear the coaching box down there at Hills Hornets. They were quite insistent, get on the ball and go, and that's definitely a good point. The transitions have been quite slow from both teams, so yeah, interesting to see what Hornets do for the rest of the game in that regard.
Jones to Ellis, and shooting out of the line there. Great touch from Emily Irons, who's made a few of them so far this match.
Perfect link defence. She shot out of the line and did the right thing. That's her job to make that touch, and she did a great job of snipering and picking off that out ball. Well done.
Also well defended there from Bianca Thatcher. Made sure that Williams couldn't get anywhere near the line in time. Touch comes in once more here against the Roosters as they head towards their substitutions area to try and get those fresh players on. It's a reasonably smooth
Yeah, let's see
transition
if they can keep this flow going. They need to kick around and they need to get a really good strike dump. The half needs to be on the spot. They're still a long way away.
Well, they've
got
done
an
a great
overlap.
job here of catch and pass. It's still on now for the Roosters. Good cover defence, though, coming across from Ava Jones. So one more play here for the Chooks. What can they conjure up? Long ball coming. No, great diving touch there from Tali Pond, or Alani Pond, should I say.
Yeah, really, really good effort because that touch had to be made. A very impressive set of 6 there from the Roosters, and they'd be hoping that they could really jam the Hornets girls down in this half.
Ellis finds a clear passage down the sideline, picks up very easy meters. They pulled out of the touch. There was no one there to cover. So here come the Hornets.
Yep. And now let's look at their back-end touch. This one's really important. They've got to get the half on the spot. That's better.
Davis with a nice run here. Williams comes out. Oh, she tried to find a flat ball to Lamusu, but she just opted for a little bit of an inline, and that was enough for the ball to go astray.
Yeah, what we're seeing out here is there's been a real changing of the guard over the last few years in women's touch, and a lot of these players are very, very young, so we're going to have to wear the mistake rate that comes with it, but the potential that both these sides have got is really good, and if I'm in either one of those coaching boxes, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I've got, some great young players out here that are showing some really good skill levels.
Well, there's a drop ball there that's been let go from the officials. It won't cost them, though, the Hornets, as we come inside the final 11 and a half minutes here. So we had a very early try within the first minute. Nothing since. It's been a real stalemate. A chance to link up there out wide. They didn't take it, though. Lamusu once more had the wide option. Now they keep driving forward, this time through Hornery. Up over halfway. And the ball comes spilling out. We do have a bit of moisture this morning with the rain falling, and Carpenter couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, this final, we're coming close to the last 10 minutes of the game, James, and this is where, you're really trying to get your teams, you always want them to complete, but you want them to work a little bit harder because, a couple of touchdowns is a long way back in a 30-minute game, so you've really got to work as hard as you can just to get your completions right. Work on your 1%ers and try to get some ascendancy.
So the Roosters in good field position here for the first time in a long time. They carve it up through the middle here. Still with a couple of plays in hand. They'll say play on there once more. A couple of interesting calls here favouring East.
Yeah, it's both teams would be quite frustrated with, the selection in terms of their back ending of a set. They have to do better with their strike dump. They've got to get a play on with some purpose. So the first 3 aren't so bad. The idea is to try to really build a bit of flow so that you can actually mount an opportunity. 7 on. Yeah?
Yeah, they're pointing on the sideline here, our officials.
Yep.
So 100% right with that call there. Carly Banks, 7 on the field. And that is really quite a coach killer as well.
It is, and it was just what I was saying, that you need to get them nice and calm and settled. Easier said than done, James, been there many times myself. But it's really important that you just get really clear instructions about what you want. And at this stage, it'd be just try and get down the other end, complete. If we can't score, let's just complete and leave the ball down the other end. And then turn around with our ruck defence and put a bit of pressure on.
Chance here for the Roosters, about 10 metres away from the opposition line. They played on that 7-metre mark. And then back towards the open side before they slow things down once more. Here's Siren. Siren in now at acting half. Wraparound play here from Irons. Irons tried to get away from them. I think they're going to rule another set here for the Chooks as well.
Yeah, they are. Now, that was the play that they managed to score their touchdown from. So it's a little short side sweeper. That's what they call it, Cindy. They make the touch on the link and get the sweeper around, put a bit of pressure on people. So that play's been good to them, so they've gone back to the well.
Back to the well once more here, but this time not producing any water. Back to that 7-metre mark they come. Slowing things down here with Demaria, who it's good to see is back from that wrist injury, now with ball in hand. Flings it on, then hops into acting half. They'll try and work a short side raid. Very well read, though, in defence, though. Yeah. From, I believe, that's Jade Pond.
Yeah, beautiful strike from the winger, which tends to be the tendency on those link punishes, and that's a fantastic play from her. Great pre-touch for her to be able to make that play, so well done, Jade.
Last play now for the Roosters. They dive from a long, long way, but Lamusu tracking across. In fact, Ellis it was, making a diving touch with the yellow and black combination boots.
Yeah, great dive from Emily Irons. She put a lot of pressure on the Hills Hornets defence then, and they were up to the task.
Short side, they come to try and get fresh players into the action here as Lamusu goes with a scything run. Not a great ball, but good hands, though, from Mackenzie Davis. Now, that's hit a Roosters player, not played at, though, so change over to come with just under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, correct decision there from the referees. They didn't play at it. It was just a deflection off the body. So, yeah.
You could see what Mackenzie Davis was trying to do. She had numbers out there, so the play was on.
Yep,
so Lamusu comes in, but the touch is evaded. Further forward they drive now with Halliwell Quinn.
Yeah, she's a dangerous player and one I expect to feature prominently here.
Here she is again out of acting half. Very flat ball and goes to the line herself. The touch came in, though. A nice one being made there from, I believe that was Regan.
Yeah, I love her agility down on the line. Like she looks most likely here for them. Again, off this quickie play. Little ML platform out the back.
Ball over the top. Was there a touch from McCurley? Yes, she did enough. Well done from Lauren jamming in off the wing.
Yeah, and that platform's troubled the Hills Hornets defence a couple of times. So again, the Roosters would be looking, for that type of, back-end shot if they get another repeat down there.
So Lamusu hopping in at acting half now and finds the running support there of Hornery, who thought she'd found an offside marker. And they've continued to attack right down that middle passage each and every time, trying to isolate Tomasiu. Here they go now with a little jinking jive of a run, and they've picked up finally on the last attempt of doing so. Another set to play with. They kept going back to that particular spot.
Yeah, Mackenzie Davis did a great job to, get that penalty out of the referees because they changed directions numerous times, and that little jink, she loves that little right foot step back in, and she's going to be very important here for the Hills Hornets as they try really hard to try and level this one up, James.
So Lamusu drops it off, and now it is with Mackenzie Davis. Can she use those fleet feet of hers? Oh, lovely delayed pass there.
Oh.
Now, what have they called here? Because it's another offside, so I think another set to play with here for the Hornets.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mackenzie was sort of hoping for the play-on, play-through call there, but that's okay. They've got another set, and she needs to stay out there because, as I said, she's the one most likely.
So the big dummy comes there from Carpenter. Turns it back to Lamusu. Carpenter. Once more, now Davis. They'll slow things down, trying to work for that strike dump. They don't quite get it on this occasion, but Davis off the right foot, very sharp. Tried to open them up.
And that's 3 penalties. They're yelling out from the Hills Hornets box. They're quite right.
Well, they want one of these Roosters players sitting down. They'll certainly get one the next time if they haven't already here. Davis dives from a long distance, but the touch comes in there from Satcher.
Now, it's important that they stay patient because it's only the start of the set. So being a young team, it's really important to stay composed, to listen to the direction you're getting from the coaches in the box and make sure that they make them pay.
Here is Davis again. Oh, they went for the intercept, and that would have killed off all hopes there for the Hornets had it come off. Yeah. Instead, they get another set to play with here. Now try and go for a short side raid. Pond was coming late, but the touch once more coming in there from Quarry. Back to the middle now with Lamusu, who'll play it on the 7-metre mark. Carpenter wrapping around. Davis, flat ball. Oh, I was on for her. Just needed to get stuck into that bread basket.
Yeah, Mackenzie Davis couldn't have tried any harder in that set to try and, that little passage of play to get the Hornets back where they needed to be. I think they're a little bit flat in attack on the line, James, and that's probably allowing the Roosters to compose themselves and sort of dictate what happens down on that scoreline. So if I'm in that Hornets coaching box, I'm just saying get a little bit deeper, take your time a little bit more, get people running, get some people working off the ball so we can actually, try and set up for the punch play late in the count rather than go straight away.
Sprinkling again here at Port Macquarie. 1-0, an early one to East Roosters as we come inside the final 4 minutes here in the opening match of day 1 for the New South Wales 2022 State Cup. Hope you're enjoying all the coverage here on New South Wales Touch Football and also Bar TV. Here come the Hornets now up towards halfway. Little wrap around here with Lamusu. Oh, Pond nearly went behind her. No momentum so far about this set. They need to get things back on track here. Not a bad run. And, geez, that's a bit of a lucky penalty, I feel. Could have been 50-50 in terms of losing footing. Yeah,
a little bit of gamesmanship there. Done really, really well from Harborne. She definitely, convinced the referee that that was worth a penalty. Well done.
Well, evidently she's been watching a bit of the World Cup so far. Plenty of dives in that. Williams picks it up, and now here comes Ava Jones. Oh, if she continued on a run, there was an opportunity out wide. Came back towards the middle, though. Ball floated up over the top. Oh, Harborne. It was a tough one to take. She's not the tallest, and just put enough pressure jamming in there, did Watchman.
Yeah, what we're seeing a lot is that the girls are picking up from acting half, and you'd rather the players get live, James, which means, that they get the ball back from the acting half so that they're an option to be able to dive as well as pass or play at the line. And that's probably something that, the girls will probably look back on this game and go, let's get people more live, so we've got another attacking option.
Well, for a moment there, the Hornets thought they had been gifted another golden opportunity, but after a bit of conversation with the officials, they've decided to rule another set here for the Roosters, who now are on the attack and into enemy territory. Kewen back out there and now in at acting half. Picks it up and finds a bit of room to move here. Jones, though, gets her from acting half, which, of course, in touch football means a changeover.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, get live, and then you're, a better option rather than just picking up and scooting out a half, because it's quite easy then for people to, to stay out and not have to shut down.
Jones with the switch, and then Ellis, a great left foot step. McCurley hops in at acting half. Ellis waiting for fresh players on. However, it's an incorrect roll ball inside the final 2 minutes. That could be crucial here for the Hornets.
Yeah, the referee got them for stepping over the mark, but I sort of felt like the defender had gone past the mark, so I think that's a bit of a tough call there. But we'll go with the referees. They're in a much better position than you or I, James, so play on.
Certainly are, and so far they've done a pretty good job here.
They've been excellent.
O'Flynn, Lamusu and Stanmore, they've been doing quite well in this particular match. Very thankful for all of our officials who are taking part in this massive tournament for the next couple of days. Quick hands here for the Chooks. Hallowell Quinn, she's caught, can't go anywhere. Last play now for East. Demaria has Hallowell Quinn wrapping around. Now she receives it. They've worked a nice little overlap here. Tried to get the boot involved as well. Sonny Bill Williams style from years ago. But that's not going to come off for them. 1 minute to go.
But that was smart from Quinn. She directed the ball over towards their sub box to make it harder for the Hills Hornets to get the ball all the way over here to get their subs on. So, kudos to Quinn. Great smarts, in terms of, playing the game. And now with, 45 seconds to go, East can ice this one if they can play out their entire set of 6. So if I'm in that box, I'm saying to them, play out the whole set and wind the clock down.
A bit of game management coming into play here. Whereas Cameron Smith when you need him. Now slow things down each and every play. You'd have to imagine, yes, once more they do exactly that. Squadrito passing it on here to Kewen, who once more says, let's just keep things calm. They're going to go for the dive themselves, and they weren't back on side. So that'll do it here for the Roosters. A late try will secure it. So tries in the first and the final minute of this particular match. 2-0 is how it should finish. There's about 5 seconds on the clock. And the Roosters are off to a very good start here at the 2022 State Cups.
Yeah, and that girl, Summer Hallowell Quinn, fantastic job there. Control the game beautifully. Little link punish to ice the game for East 2-0.
Well, there you have it. First match, run, one and done. It is East Roosters 2-0 over the Hills Hornets. Now coming up for you next, we remain here in the men's Masters division for the West Magpies taking on Nelson Bay. That should be another good one here in the 40s division. So all the action coming your way in about 5 minutes' time right here on Bar TV and New South Wales Touch Football.